Luke Sannon.
And I'm Ewan Welsh.
And today we're here to talk to you about negative externalities of production. They are when the production of a good causes a harmful effect to a third party. And we have an example of this.
Yes, China's coal emissions are responsible for 250,000 premature deaths.
250,000.
Externalities are spillover effects from production and consumption for which no compensation is paid. Externalities lie outside the initial market transaction or price.
An example of a negative externality of production is the overuse of pesticides, which will pollute rivers and streams, which then causes harm to those who use them. And if market output supply is higher than the social optimum, then there is market failure and a deadweight loss of social wealth.
So then, you said all that, but I still don't understand why it's an example of market failure.
Negative externalities lead to market failure because a product or service's price equilibrium does not accurately reflect the true cost and benefits of that product or service.
Fair enough.
The production of this very AstroTurf is using heavy machinery. The petrol involved in this heavy machinery is burned, and when incomplete combusted, it causes carbon monoxide to be emitted into the atmosphere. This changes the temperature of sea and land, damaging ecosystems. Poor animals.
If you add an indirect tax to a good or service with a negative externality of production, then the price will go up.
This will cause a contraction in demand and there'll be excess supply, so the producer will reduce the supply. This will mean there'll be less of a net weight of negative externalities for that good or service.
Oh, what a lovely day to be out. Oh, excuse me, mate.
Yeah?
What song are you listening to?
Did you know that if you add a minimum price to a good or service that has a negative externality of production, then the demand will contract? So in turn, the producer will produce less, and that will reduce the negative externality of production.
Cheers, mate.
Does that answer your question?
Not really, no, mate.
There can be government failure in the minimum pricing policy. The minimum pricing will cause supply to outweigh demand. There'll be a shortage in demand and excess in supply, even though consumers want to buy less at the lower market price, and firms are encouraged to want to sell more due to their price being higher. We can use the AstroTurf as an example of this. If the government were to place a minimum price on those type of goods because they produce pollution, then there would be excess supply and not enough demand. So even though the price is very high, there's not many people willing to pay it, even though they have the supply to multiple consumers.
Are you ready?
It's time for a whiteboard task.
Draw a negative externalities production graph.
Now, give two examples of a good or service with negative externalities of production.
Define negative externalities of production.
How does the government intervene when a good or service has a negative externality of production? Give two examples. This has been Ewan Welsh,
And this has been Luke Stanton.
and we hope you've learned everything you wanted to know about negative externalities of production.
And more.